gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, it's going to be a Impact Wrestling May 4th edition review. Start watching Impact Wrestling again. I'd say the last 2.5 years, Impact Wrestling went from, I started watching TNA 07, I believe it was. Yeah, it would have been Hard Justice 07 was the first TNA show I ever watched. Jeff Jarrett, Christian Cage, Tomko, AJ Styles, and I went live to the Hard Justice 08 show at the Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida. Been to Lethal Lockdown, Lockdown, seeing the Lethal Lockdown in person. So, been Slammiversary. So, I've been to the old TNA as you know the stars left for Ring of Honor for WWE. The show this sucked actually. So this is my first Impact back watching it. So I'm gonna try to watch it weekly and do a review of it. I know it's taped, so a lot of people know the results already. So the first match we had Matt Sydal versus Eddie Edwards. Yeah, not knowing what the card is, not knowing the show, flipping over, recording it, watching it. First match, I'm like, okay. We had Matt Sydal. I believe it was the second match in Impact Wrestling versus Eddie Edwards. Great match. Eddie Edwards, to me, needs to be in NXT, needs to be in WWE. He is, early 30s, talented, mic skills, in-ring skills. Matt Sydal, if his favorite number wasn't 420, he'd be perfect for the WWE Cruiserweight division. I gave this match a 3.25 star. After the match, Davey Richards and Angelina Love came out and attacked Eddie Edwards and his wife. Just continued that Wolves feud, Davey and Eddie. So great to see Matt Sydal getting the victory. We know we had a more great match between Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards. Next, we had a backstage promo with Magnus and Matt Morgan, and I believe whatever the dude, Pritchett, I think his name, Bruce Pritchett, I think. I'm not sure what his name was. The matchmaker, whatever he is for Impact Wrestling. Morgan was wanting a match, so we have Morgan and Magnus for the GFW title later in the show. Next, we have the GFW Women's title line. We have Sienna versus champion Christina Von Eerie. If you didn't know, Global Force Wrestling, owned by Jeff Jarrett, is currently merging with TNA and Impact Wrestling. So it looks like Slammiversary, which is July 2nd, I believe, will have the GFW World title versus the Impact World Champion, the TNA Impact World Champion, and they kind of unify the titles. So I assume they'll do that with the women's title and probably the Gen Next title, the X title, and then the tag titles and stuff. So but this was for the GFW Women's title, Sienna versus champion Christina Von Eerie. Sienna becoming new GFW Women's Champion. I gave it 2.75 star. It was a good match. Sienna, I think, has talent. She's one of those women's wrestlers that can go out there and just knock down, drag out, do everything that you expect a man to do in the ring. My first scene of Christine Von Eerie, not too bad. Put on a pretty good match. Next, we had an Eli Drake promo in the back. He's talking shit on Alberto El Patron. Patron shows up. And then so Alberto El Patron's #1 contendership for the GFW title next week on Impact was on the line later between Eli Drake and Alberto El Patron. Next, we had just kind of a squash match. We had Ethan Carter III, EC3 versus John Ballard. Just basically a squash match. EC3 getting a victory. Next, we had the GFW Gold Force Wrestling World title in line. We had the Blueprint Matt Morgan versus champion Magnus. He's been champion like 550 days since Global Force Wrestling has been in existence. The only champion's been Magnus, or was it Nick Aldis? His alter ego, his real name. And coming back to TNA, we went back to Magnus. I think it's a pretty decent match. Magnus getting the victory, retaining his title. 2 3/4 star. Probably what'll end up happening next week is Alberto El Patron versus Magnus. I see them doing with Magnus kind of like a version of what WWE did with Jericho and the Unified title, WCW title, and WWF title when they had Jericho beat Rock and Austin in the same night to win the Unified title. I can see them having Magnus beat El Patron next week and then go on to Slammiversary and beat Bobby Lashley and become the Unified Champion and then carrying the 550, 600 day title run on and how great he is. I can see them doing that. So him retaining his GFW title, 2 3/4 star match. Next we had the LAX promo, how they took out Decay, Homicide, Ortiz, Santana, Diamante, and Conan, K-Dog. Next we had Konga Kong versus William Weeks. Just a squash match. Konga Kong winning. Braxton Sutter and Ali coming out. I guess starting a feud with Konga Kong. We'll see where that goes. They showed a Sanjay Dutt Loki promo. How Loki, I guess, kicked their shit out of Sanjay Dutt and just fucked his eye up. The main event was Eli Drake versus Alberto El Patron, #1 contender for the Global Force Wrestling World title. Next week on Impact. The winner of the match, I give it a 3-star match. Eli Drake. If you don't know who he is, I mean, he's a cocky, young, he's got talent, he can talk. Just, I don't care for him, but, Alberto El Patron getting a victory in a 3-star match over Eli Drake. So the main event of Impact Wrestling on May 11th will be Alberto El Patron versus the GFW champion, Magnus. So stay tuned to Rubber Sports Show for the road to Backlash, and we'll continue the Impact Wrestling reviews. As always, thanks for watching Rubber Sports Show. Just have a great night. Have a spiffy night. Rubber Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.